Hi everyone, I'm Kristin with Listen, Love, Pray Foundation, and I'm the sister of an addict. Addiction is a family disease, and we are on the front lines of it. I stand here today in front of all of you because I found a way, my family found a way to keep our line strong. And you can too, because you are important and your needs and your life matters too. My brother's addiction affected my life in many ways. How it hadn't affected it would be a much shorter story. I was 16 when my brother started experimenting with drugs. He was only 14. You always think, it won't happen to my family. Not my brother. He'll be fine. No way. Couldn't be him. He'll be fine. Well, he wasn't fine. It has been 4.5 years since his death, and he struggled from age 14 to 28. Through his addiction, I changed too. I became a codependent, walking on eggshells, fearing the ring of a phone or the buzzing of a text message, always looking down side streets, wondering, searching, scanning to see if I could find someone who might resemble my brother. Locking and double checking car doors, even on the farm, not carrying cash anymore because if cards or checks were stolen, at least I could claim fraud. Thinking I should buy extra food and keep it with me in case I see Scott, because he may not have eaten for days. Dreading the days he exited rehabs and sober homes, knowing it was just a matter of time. He had been to more places than I could count on my fingers and toes. Hugging him so tightly when I did see him, clean-ish, who knows? The list goes on and on. Having an active addict in the family is a huge stressor. It is life-changing because there's no longer the intact family. The family routine and schedules become completely dependent on what the addict is up to. The family constantly having to adapt to the current situation. Siblings not knowing what really is going on, just that their brother is absent and no longer lives at home. Stressed out parents who were once happy are now holding their breath with every phone call, every interaction with the addict. Whether the family knows it or not, they are experiencing trauma. Family trauma, individual trauma, uppercase or lowercase t, however you want to identify it, trauma. And trauma changes the way you respond to everything. Once I realized that it was not just the addict who struggles, that I too had trauma from my brother's addiction, that I too was worthy of help and desperately needed a recovery program, things started to change for me. We all know that change does not happen overnight. It could be a 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of pace. We as a family had been attending Celebrate Recovery to support my brother, and I had always thought, what a nice program. What a nice program for people struggling. Completely blind to the fact that my life was in shambles too. When I was 25, I started going for myself, showing up for me, started really working those steps, applying them to my hurts, my habits, and my hang-ups. Doing multiple step studies, each time something else new came up, and then I had to work through that too. I started changing, growing, healing, like actually deep inner healing occurred. I was heading towards a lifestyle that did not revolve around the fear of my brother's addiction. Slowly but surely, I created boundaries. I stopped responding to absurd texts. I did not drink around my brother. And I learned the word no and the phrase, when you are ready for help, I will be right here. The pain of what my brother's addiction had done to me, to my family, was still there, but I knew that no matter what his addiction brought, that I would have my boundaries, I would have my recovery, and I would have my faith in Jesus. And that I would be okay, mentally, physically, financially, and spiritually, because I was important and my needs, my life mattered too. And again, addiction is a family disease. We are on the front lines of it, and I can only stand here today in front of you because my family found a way to keep our line strong. And you can too, because you are important and your needs matter too.